Chris, but I know people in the township, they call me Chris. Ah, okay. I'm a landscape architect, also registered with the Council for Landscape Architects in South Africa. And I would like to talk to you about landscape architecture in general today. I'm going to start with the story right at the beginning. What do you see here? The planet. The planet Earth. Where does this planet come from? Yes? From the universe. This planet is in the universe. Who put it there? Yes? God created this planet, a beautiful one. Perfect planet that was created by God. You believe that? Yes. Okay, and then after God created the planet, what did he do? He created a guy. Your great-great-great-grandfather, what was his name? Yes? Adam. Yes. Very nice. So Adam had the opportunity to go and live in a beautiful garden that God created for them. That garden wasn't the whole earth, it was just in one place. That garden, It had 4 rivers flowing in 4 different directions. One to the north, one to the south, the other river went to the east, and the other one went to the west. Did you know that? Beautiful rivers that they had there. And they lived there in that garden. Do you know that they didn't have to go work for food? Yes. Where did they get food? Yes? From the trees. So food was for free in this garden. They could just go and have food. Okay. Do you know what clothes they wore? What did they wear? Yes? Yes? They didn't wear clothes. They were walking around naked. Have you ever heard of something like that? Why did they walk around naked? Because it wasn't too hot and it wasn't too cold. There was no climate change. It was what we call a microclimate in that garden. It was always just right for them. Now, what did they do every day? God gave them something to do. He told them they should study nature. So they were studying every day. They went out and they counted the animals. They gave them names. They classified them. These are the small ones. These are the mediums. These are the big ones. They had a look at the fruit. They could eat the fruit. It was nice. They gave them names. They enjoyed it. Can you imagine? Every day. There was another thing that God told them to do. What does it mean, conservation? You know what conservation means? Anybody here can tell me? What does the word conservation mean? Bakazi, can you help them? What does it mean, conservation?
I always say when you want to learn something, you must break it down.
Yes.
Conservation to conserve. What it is to conserve? When you conserve something, what are you doing?
Taking care, looking after. Right? So they were looking after the garden. Okay. And what was the other thing that happened to them there? Every evening, we call it divine presence. God came down and he spoke with them there in that garden. They experienced God like a friend, one-on-one in that garden. You see, that was a fantastic place. And you know what? It ended. They had to go out. Because they were naughty. They did not listen. They did not use their ears. And because they did not listen, they lost the garden forever. They had to go out of that garden. But they never forgot that garden. They always remembered how fantastic it was. They always tried to get back the connection with God, to be able to talk to God again. They always tried to get that food again. Now they had to work hard to get that food. They always tried to get better climate. Now they had to put on clothes. They had to build a house to stay in. They had to do all sorts of the air conditioners. We need now air conditioners to get our climate right. And as we go along, we're messing up our climate. Okay? So, all the cultures of the earth, everybody, from the Chinese to the Indians in India, the Aztec in South America, North America, all these cultures, the Persians, they all have the story of the Garden of Eden, this garden where Adam and Eve was. They all remember that story. And what did they try to do? They always tried to recreate that garden. So you will see, when you look at the carpets that they weave in the Middle East, that is in Iran. And if you look closely at this carpet, there's the carpet, you'll see that there's a center point, which is the center of the garden, and there's 4 rivers on each one of these carpets. And they've woven fish in those rivers. That's the Garden of Eden. And they've got lots of fruit trees around in this garden. You see that?
Yes.
You guys see? Interesting, eh? Because they wanted to go back to that garden. Look at a garden in Persia, in the desert. Look how beautiful that is. I'll come and show you now. Okay, so they've recreated Eden there. And they call it Paradiso. Paradise. Okay, look at how beautiful that is. Look, and this is now in the desert. Imagine walking in that hot desert, and the next moment you come into a place like this. Beautiful, isn't it? Okay, good. So I've just got a couple of pictures to show you of the old cultures, how they drew it. This was in India, how they made their gardens in India, same principle as the Garden of Eden. This was the Egyptians, how they made their houses with a courtyard, with a garden inside. And this was in Spain, the Moroccans. They also made gardens, courtyards for the climate. So when we build houses, it is important for us to think about where does the sun come up, where does the sun go down, what is the wind, where does the wind blow from in August, in winter. Where does the cold wind come from in winter? You know, here where you live. Where does the cold wind come from? The southeast. Cold wind from southeast, because it comes from the Drakensberg, where the snow is. And in the August, there's a dry, hot wind that comes from the northwest. I have to know it when I design, because I need to know where do I screen off that wind with plants. I need to see where do I plant a tree for shade. Now in summer I want shade, but in winter I don't want shade. What do I do? What type of tree will I plant? Come on. What tree will I plant? That's got leaves in summer, but doesn't have leaves in winter. Is there such a tree? Do you know of a tree that loses its leaves in winter? Have you seen here when in the township? Is there trees that that lose their leaves? Yes, no. What do we call them? Deciduous. Deciduous. They drop their leaves. Now, I've got nice and cool shade in summer because it's got leaves, and in winter it drops all its leaves, and then the sun comes through, and I've got heat. Nice, there. That was well thought out, don't you think so? Yeah. Okay, good. Wrong way. Now, that's how we draw pictures of sun paths, wind direction. That's our new plan. Before we do a garden, we try to think of all the things around this building. Now, there was a competition in Tanzania, and they were looking for people that can design a house for a family up in Africa where they can live and enjoy their house because they didn't have a nice house. So I'm going to show you 3 houses that people presented for the competition, and then I want you to ask you, what do you see, what would you put at this house to make it a better house? Look at this house. Look at that house. And look at that house. Okay? Each one of you. This house. That house. Look at that house. What will you do around that house that will make it better? Yes? A garden. Yes? Some beautiful trees. Hey? You guys are landscape architects. Yes? Flowers and trees, yes? A swimming pool, that will be nice, that will be good. Yes? Flowers. A sitting area. Look at this. A fountain. A shade area. More windows, you're right. Look at these guys, they're architects, they're not even putting windows in this house. Doors, yes. A kitchen, exactly. We need food. A swimming pool, that one also said swimming pool. Good. So what we did is our presentation was put lots of plants around there, put fruit trees, put a kitchen. So there's, oh shucks, where did I go now? By accident. We want people to smile, to have enough vegetables. Hey, can you see that? Look how happy they are. They're working and they're making, look at that. See? Good. Okay, so this was our presentation. What we said is, we gave them all the list of plants that they can plant around their house. We've got some creepers on the side of the wall so that the walls don't sit in the sun. And we've got lots of plants. I can't go through all of them now. That's how we designed the house with a nice kitchen and a storage place. And there's all the plants. You see that we told them to plant. Exactly what you told us to do. You actually knew better. I could just come here and ask you. You were giving me the correct answers. Great, guys. Thank you. Okay. Let me see where I am now. Okay, so I want to show you. This is a project that I did in Zimbabwe. They had drought there. It was very difficult. So we gave them maize. And they planted the maize. And look at how beautiful it came out. Look at that. Beautiful, eh? Yeah. And there's the children in the school in Zimbabwe. Look at them sitting there. Do they have a nice school? No. Look at the school. All the classes, all the grades in one class. Look at that. They're doing something to get better. They're cattle. They're chickens. Yeah, any case, they've got chickens, they've got cattle, they've got everything there. Nice, thanks. Okay. Now I want to show you some of the projects that I did as landscape architect in the townships. This is now in your communities. So this one was Numalo Park. I don't know what it means. That's what it looked like before, and that's what we made of it. Okay. There's Numalo Park. So nicely. I'm just going to show it up here because it's too small for you to see. There is Numalo Park, Ndongo Park, and Mzansi Park in Soweto. This one was a rehabilitation park that we did in Middelburg, in Schluzi. See? There we went and we planted the original grasses and wetland grasses, and so that all the animals can come back and everything can return. This is part of conservation. Eh? And there's a park in Komet Singh, and this is just a house garden. This is a park that we did last week. Actually, this week I did it. This one. We planned it for Middelburg, and that one as well. Ogies. This one also for Witbank, and that one. Just to give you an idea what we're doing. Okay. Thank you. And that is.